glad you're here. Do you have a birthday this month, any of you? Oh, we'd love to sing happy birthday to you, but I guess, okay, we won't do that. All right. Well, we hope you like what you see. We hope you like what you hear. And we'll hope you come back if you do. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. And I'm going to read some announcements before we get started here because we're going to sing a great song. Ari's here today. When Ari's here, we have great music. Yes, we love it. Okay. Hi, Rebecca. Glad you're here. Good seeing you, girl. Okay, the idea here is that we want you to join our fellowship after this morning service. What that means is it's time for snacks and conversation. A lot of talking, a lot of eating, a lot of drinking, and a lot of visiting. So we like that. And, you know, in our Soup for the Soul that comes up, that we have a fundraiser, and it's going to be next Sunday. Every Sunday, that type of Sunday, we have Soup for the Soul. And, you know, we have the best soup. People bring soup. If you would like to contribute to that, just sign up. There's a sign-up sheet, I think, out in the library here on that table. Just look at it and say, yeah, I can bring some bread, or I can bring some butter, or I can bring a pot of soup. Yeah, we have the best soups. I love it. And we tell everybody, you know, if you're hungry, just go ahead and eat. But if you can put $5 in the little round bowl there that says this helps us out to fundraise, well, we'd like you to do that. If you decide you want to put a $100 bill in there, we won't stop you. Yeah. Okay. I like this. I want to read this whole thing. It's time to get lit up. Lit up. Living intentionally today. Discussion going on. And it's a group that's going to meet again on Wednesday, January the 21st, right here, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Now, the idea is they're going to come together to talk about the challenges that might be currently haunting you, maybe. You know, this is a new year, isn't it? There's things maybe we got to take care of. We're realizing that possibly. Well, anyhow, lots of good conversation, lots of good direction to go there. And we have something coming up that's going to knock your socks off if you decide to take it. Our practitioner, Cheryl Ostrander, is going to be conducting a special thing after service. It's called Let's Explore That Question of Why Do We Keep Reliving All the Anger and Resentment? How come? Why? And it's going to have these focuses here. It's called Refocus, Reframe, Release the Burden, Drop the Grudge. It's a great workshop. She's done workshops before. We just love it when she does a workshop. 2 Sundays, January 25th and February 1st. That's at 1 o'clock to 12. The first one's at 12:30 to 4 p.m. And then the second one, same idea. There's a registration fee included for study materials and refreshments. It says it's $50. Look for the sign-up sheet in the library. And don't miss that, really. If you can be there, please be there. Now, the thing we like you guys to know, we talk about this, but we're listening, and we value your input on things. Look for a lavender form in the seat pocket in front of you. Just take a look right there. A lavender-colored form. I don't have one. Oh, here, like this. That right there. See? Lavender color. And then anything on your heart, on your mind, if you would like prayer, if you would like a conversation, if you would like just to let us know something, what's on your mind, please do so. When the offering comes around, just drop it in there, or around the corner in the library is a box that sits there, and you can see it says for prayers. Just drop it in. Just drop it in there. And nobody will see that except a practitioner or a minister, myself or Reverend Julie here. Okay, so we like volunteers. We have volunteers that help all the time, but by golly, if you have something you'd just like to say, I'd like to just help you guys out around here. What can I do? We'll hand you a broom. If you don't have one, we've got them. Other things, there's plenty of other things to do. Roy, for example, over here has fixed our seats for us. You guys probably didn't even know they were falling apart. He's got them fixed. Thank you, Roy. The door back there, it had a big, winds coming under there, people freezing in the back row. Well, we had that all fixed by a volunteer. And so, just let us know if you got skills, come and see us. Now, that's all I'm going to talk about because we're going to sing a song. Let's do that. In your program, there should be some music. Let's go for it.
Let's do it. If you're willing and able, please stand and sing with me. Blessing to the World by Karen Drucker. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice and spirit on earth, and all you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. Let's do I again. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. Breathe that in. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, sisters, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, brothers, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, people, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, people, let's go down, down in the river to pray, down in the river to pray.
Let's just all take a nice deep breath, cleansing everything within us and letting it just out in our exhale. And just knowing with me today that there is only one God, only one Spirit, one energy, and that we are emanated from this Spirit, that we are expressions of God here on earth to represent God in all of its facets, including life, love, light, joy, peace, beauty, All of those things are attributes of God, and we are as well. And so recognizing today that we are all just one spirit expressed in individual ways, that we know that we are here by divine urge, ready to hear the word, ready to express ourselves, ready to be open and receptive to all the good that God is. And so knowing this, I am so full of gratitude for everyone present here and online, and I know that each of us is ready to open our hearts to a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of expressing ourselves. And so, with so much gratitude in my heart, I release my word, knowing that everything is unfolding in divine right order. And knowing this, please join me in saying, "And so it is." I'd like to share with you the group affirmation for the day. It's in blue in your program. So let's begin. Now I am looking at my beliefs with fresh eyes, and I'm empowered by Spirit's message in its many forms. I remain alert to divine truth and guidance, and so it is. Amen.
Oh, can that lady pray? That is good. Thank you, Cheryl. About this time, we like to do a reading. And you know, I've talked about this before. If you have not picked up that little magazine that's called the Science of Mind magazine, I got one here somewhere. Here we go. And take a look inside and see those prayers and those guides and all the things the messages that are in there. And the one this year, or this month, we have 2 months in one magazine. One side is January, the other side is February. It works out pretty good. This idea here that Judy's going to be talking about is kind of fits right in with what I think she has in mind. And you're in for a real treat today. Reverend Judy's going to talk to you about some things. So don't jump up and run out of here for any reason. If the house catches fire, she'll finish. Just hang in there. Okay. This reading is called The Magic Touch. And we're talking about love this month in an interesting way. It's coming up. We're going to carry it on into February. But this magic of touch starts out with the Science of Mind magazine on page 367 that says, "I have listened to the silence, and in the deep places of life, I have stood naked and receptive to thy songs, and they have entered my soul." Talk about being connected. In the body of the reading here, it's just a part of the page, it says, "Some of the most wonderful things about being human are the many means we have to communicate." I'm not thinking at this moment of our tech gadgets, as clever and efficient as they may be. I'm thinking of our complicated, often inefficient ways of dealing with each other face to face. Of course, we have the medium of speech, often colorful, and sometimes explosive, and at times completely bewildering. And how often do we send messages that just don't compute to someone else? And what about the times when we speak the thing, but we mean something else? When things get complicated, there's always the means of touch. Touch. Not necessarily sexually based, but just the extension of a hand touching another hand, or another shoulder, or brushing a cheek. As beings inevitably connected in spirit, we can often miss the cues others may send, or perhaps we ourselves aren't sure of what we want to convey ourselves. The quiet touch, however, allows us to connect at the basic living levels. It sends assurances that even though we may not have the right words at hand, we communicate our love through the divine circuits, simply and without complications. A firm hand always sends an indication of support. An embrace lets another know that we sense and we understand that compassionate caring can be more important than any words. Let us remember the multiple ways that we can extend ourselves to others. And there's an affirmation that backs that up. It says, the divine good fulfills me, always has, always will, and I access it every day. I understand the deep meaning present in a warm smile and a loving touch. I engage all of myself with you daily, and so it is.
This is a song called One Power by Daniel Namod. And if you know it and you want to sing along, please do. One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. It's mysterious until you know the truth. It's as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashim or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, oh, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. Oh, it's the anchor you Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Ari. Wow. And actually, it is so perfect for today's message. And then after listening to the song, I'm like, well, okay, that is the message. And so I could just say, let you go home, but wow. And so Don was mentioning in the reading about communication and how we can't always say what we want to say, or we're uncomfortable saying it, but there's a way to touch. And we did this at Christmas, and I want to invite all of us this morning to stand up and greet someone else with a handshake, a hug, and if you're not comfortable with that, just a namaste, so that we see the divine in each other. So let's just stand and communicate in a way that is without words.
Yes, I know I'm not gone forever. I know.
Okay. I know. So this is too much fun. Yeah. So I knew this was risky. I knew it was risky. I'm just going to invite everyone to find your seat again. So, all right. Isn't that wonderful? Doesn't that feel so good? Oh my gosh. Thank you, John, for reminding us. And so today is the first Sunday in a 4-part series.
And based on the first 4 chapters of what we call our textbook, yeah, it looks like a textbook, doesn't it? Written by Ernest Holmes in the 20s. And this is the foundation of our spiritual practice. And CSL has a tradition of the first weeks in a new year of reviewing those. And I have to say, my husband said this morning, he said, I don't know if I need to go to church today. I said, I've heard that every year for 30 years. I said, but anyway, he's here. But see, okay, so yes, probably talked about it for every year for 30 years. But see, I took this class, and the book in the front of the book it says for my 39th birthday from my husband. And then I was so excited, I took the first class, and I underlined. Do you highlight? And then I took, a little bit later, I took the class again. And lo and behold, different things popped out. And so I thought, well, I'll use a different color. So I have green, yellow, pink, blue, and pencil for every year that I took. And because, I know, look at this, because the thing is, as we continue our process, our spiritual practice, we change. And sometimes it's so subtle, we don't even realize that we're changing. But even though we go over the same thing, if you read the same book again and it was like, I don't remember this, something new. So pay attention, Paul. There might be something in here for you. So, oh, gosh. So anyway, what this is in that song, the song just said it so beautifully. It says that we're talking about the thing itself, the study of first cause. And that's what this first chapter is about. Of spirit, mind, that invisible essence, that intelligence out of which everything comes. And you know, it is beyond what our finite mind can understand. But there's a part of us that knows it, and we know it because it is as us. We are created out of that substance. And the power, it's the power back of all existence. And so here we look at we study how it applies to our life, how we can apply it in our life. And so I came across the story, because we're going to talk about the thing itself. And the thing itself, all that allness it is, that we use so many words for, that Ari went through so many words that we use in so many teachings. And so here's what happened in this small town, and I don't know how many of you grew up in this small town, but everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows what everybody's doing. And so there were these 2 young boys, and they were always getting in trouble. They were just notorious for being troublemakers. So their mother was, of course, really worried about it. And she thought, there's a pastor here in town that is noted for being able to deal with unruly children and bring discipline into life. And so she went to speak to him, and he said, well, sure, I will speak to them, but bring them in one at a time. So she took the youngest one in. And he sat him down, was going to, talk about God, I guess, and make sure he knows that he needs to behave, because I expect God is watching, always watching, if you remember that God that's always watching. God, I hated that, didn't you? I mean, whew. Anyway, so he says to the little boy very calmly, he says, where's God? And the kid, he's 8. He's just sitting there. And then he didn't answer. And so the pastor said a little louder, where is God? And finally he's like, booms it out, where is God? And the little boy was so frightened, he dashed out of the room, ran home, and hid in the closet. And his older brother came in and said, what's the matter? He said, God's missing, and they think we took him. So, and so what is our concept of God? You know, this is so important. I begin every class with us writing down what our concept of God is, and it's going to change as we evolve. And so what one lives in your head? What one lives in your head? That's a question for you. And does it serve you? Does it serve you, or is it a source of fear and doubt? So, and at some level, you know, we're all looking for meaning in our life. We're all looking for something greater. And we don't always know what that is, because it's part of who we are. We're part of this greatness. So it is always seeking. And we identify, instead of identifying something deeper, sometimes we identify it as a relationship. That's going to work. That's going to meet that need. Or something material. That's going to meet our need. When really we're desiring something deeper. And for me, I was always looking for truth. And most of us, I don't have a lot of memories before I was 5, but I do have one memory that is very, very distinct. And I remember kneeling on my grandmother's footstool and looking out the window. And there was just this sense of looking for something, and there was a sense of wonder, but I was looking for something. And I don't know if they had told me that my mother was in heaven or something, and that's why I was doing this. I don't know, but I do remember the experience. And I've always been looking for that. And my grandmother told me that I needed to find my own truth, that all churches were good, that taught good things. But I needed to find my own truth. And I agree with her, and I agree that we're all right where we need to be, regardless of what that is. But of course, I didn't know anything about anything other than Christianity, and that's all I'd ever heard. And I always heard people talk about the one true church, and it was always their church. And so, truly, that's the truth. And I love Sunday school. Well, you know, I've told you this before. My grandparents were snowbirds, so I lived on a farm in Idaho in the summer. And southern Idaho, the mecca of the LDS church, other than Utah. And then we'd go to Arizona in the winter. Well, my first church experience was with my Mormon church. And I loved Sunday school and all that. And I learned a great deal about the pioneers and a whole lot about Joseph Smith. But I didn't find God there. So even at 8 years old, I knew that wasn't for me. And luckily, unlike a lot of my cousins who only were in that environment, in Arizona there were a plethora of churches. And I went to the Baptist church with neighbors. My grandma wouldn't take me after I threw a fit one day. So I went with my neighbors who happened to be Baptist. And I loved that. I just loved the Baptist church, you know, all the singing and all. It was wonderful, and I wish we'd do a little more of that. We did a little bit of that here, didn't we? Down to the river to pray. It comes out in me all the time. And so, but the daughter of the pastor was a friend of mine. She was in my class, and she could never go to movies, and couldn't do anything fun on Sunday, and you know. And I thought, well, this God isn't for me, clearly. And then my grandfather was a very charismatic man, and he was very social, and he was super intelligent, and he loved to talk religion. So our house in Arizona was kind of this salon, this mecca of all different religions. I never knew who would be there when I came home from school. And I remember one group of Jehovah's Witnesses. They came a lot. And one of the girls was in my class, and I always felt so bad for her because she couldn't do any parties, any birthday parties. She missed out on everything. But here was the thing. According to Jehovah's Witness, and I really looked into all of these. I mean, I don't think I ever wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness, but I remember looking into their teaching. Well, because she was my friend. And what they say is only 144,000 people go to heaven to rule with Christ as Spirit Kings. And I thought, wow, those odds aren't very good. So, I mean, really, and then you go around trying to get more people to join, and it lowers your odds. Yeah. Never made a lick of sense to me. But then, after all of this, I became a Catholic. I did convert to Catholicism because logically they could trace their origin back to the beginning. And that made a lot of sense to me, and I loved it. I loved the history. I loved the ritual. But eventually I began to question, and so that I left that. And I had nothing for a long time. And I think I must have been somewhat sheltered because I became aware of all the suffering in the world, of all the tragedies. I remember one specific episode when we were in Eugene at college. The bridge collapsed in Carolina or something, and these families were killed. I was so angry at the suffering. Have any of you done this? I'm sure I'm not the only one. Began to despise this God that would cause suffering. Did any of you ever go through that phase? I guess I'm the only angry one. So God, you asked that question hoping people, yeah, me too. So yeah, I had a little temper with God. Or this concept of God I had in my head. You see how important the concept we have in our head is. Because it's going to inform us. And I was so angry that I could have nothing to do with any of these concepts. And but I still studied philosophy, and I still did all these things and read these books. And then I was reading the Oregonian one day, and there was a picture of this woman minister who had a church. She was just starting a church in Portland, and I had never seen a woman minister before. And I said, I got to check this out. So I did. I walked into it, and you know the rest. I was like, I was home. I was home. And I signed up for the foundations classes. We were tougher, you guys, than the students are now, because this was 3 10-week series, a whole year. Now we have to cut them back because nobody can focus for 10 weeks. But the first chapter, the thing itself, and I found a new concept. And this was so important because I know I could it took me years to get all of these programming out of my head. But there was that which we could not really grasp with our mind, but was existing and was everywhere present. And oh, it made so much sense. And it was the Church of Religious Science, which we call Centers for Spiritual Living now. And Ernest Holmes defines it as, and this is what we're about, guys. We're about a lot of things, but this is a definition. Religious science is a synthesis of the laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelation of religion applied to human needs and aspirations of humankind. Just the fact that applies to our needs and aspirations was a shift. It became about us. That we were important. That we were important. And see, there was no judgmental, punishing God. It was for us. And this is personal for me because I had this lovely cousin. He was so sweet, a little bit older than me. And the little town in Idaho was like tiny, but all relatives and tiny. And he would walk through the fields to come visit my grandmother because my grandmother had no judgment and she just loved all the young people. So, but he was judged. You see, he was gay in a community well, I didn't even know what that was then. But he was gay in a community that was not accepting of that. And because of that, and you have to understand how important the theology was. And there was no other, and I know this because of some other cousins that didn't have the experiences I did, there was no other reality. And so what it would mean is he could not enter the celestial kingdom when he died, which is really important in Mormonism. So he couldn't be with his family in the afterlife, because families are all together in the afterlife. That's so sad. I didn't get how sad it was then. And such a wonderful person. And it's horrible to contemplate that because there's so much pain and shame. Guys, shame. Shame is so destructive. And so he didn't live super long. But one of the things that is true for purity cultures is that there is a super high suicide rate. Because the self is not valued. And I so love what we teach. And so I found that there was a better way. And I've dedicated my life, however imperfect, to serving this better way. So that we all can know that we are divine. And we are all okay. In religious science, there's a universal mind and intelligence, you guys. An undefinable presence. It's presence that pervades everything. And by changing our thoughts, our minds, we can use the spiritual laws to create changes in our life. And you guys, it is not against us. It is for us. You know, we are Spirit's artwork. Isn't that beautiful? And if you're sitting there saying, well, I don't know why my life doesn't look like a work of art. So, like many great artists, you know what happens over time? The artwork gets a little dingy and it collects a little dirt and it's dulled. And I really love visiting art galleries, and I'm fascinated by how they the process of restoration, because it's they discover so many things. And so there's this famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper, and it had become. They tried to restore it in the past very crudely, and so it had all this improper restoration and. They wanted to uncover the real painting. And it also had succumbed to centuries of dirt and grime and just all the pollution and stuff. And they wanted to remove everything and bring back the finish that he painted in 1498. So it took 20 years of painstaking work, 20 years. But they brought this back to his original look, and it was so beautiful. So beautiful. And I thought, well, that's like us. We are this work of art. Divine work of art. You guys, nobody, nowhere. That's a double negative. For you English majors. Oh, so sorry. This is like us. And over time of living, we've accumulated things. Beliefs and experiences and ideas. But what ones do we want to hold on to? What ones serve this beautiful work of art that we are? And what ones are perhaps cluttering it up, making difficulties where there need not be difficulties? And I want to do a little commercial right here for Cheryl's workshop. Now, I've gone to one of her workshops, and it was far more than I even imagined it was going to be. But she's doing this one on releasing resentments. And there's a flyer out there that's more definitive than I am going to say. But I thought when I was doing this, and I'm going to go to her workshop, that's an opportunity for us to focus in a bit of a guided way to look at some, because, it's, okay, I'm going to risk this again. Anybody out there have resentments? Okay, thank you. Thank you. I just thought, am I the only one? Once again, you need to have somebody else up here. So, it's just one of those things, and we do. And so it's just one of those pieces that we can release to show the shining colors of our work of art. The universe plays no favorites. Some are not better than others. I mean, we look at others' life experience and we think, oh, well, God, obviously. In the early days of our country, and I think this still goes, if you were successful and all of that with the Puritan culture, that meant God favored you. So we have an underlying something in our culture that rises up sometimes. It looks like we might be favored individuals. But the universe is a universe of laws and principles. And as simple as this, 4 plus 4 equals 8. And if you and I do 4 plus 4 and we get 9, that's not the fault of the principle. It's just that we may not understand something. You see what I mean? It just works. And it's for us to get into alignment with it. And as we remove anything unlike the truth, we begin to draw nearer to our truer essence. And in drawing nearer to our truer essence, we begin to hear more clearly the whispers of the divine in our heart. And we begin to recognize that more clearly as we let go of those things that might block the light. It says in scriptures, I see darkly now, but in time I will see clearly. We pour more and more of spirit into a glass that perhaps has dirt in the bottom. And eventually it will wash out till it's clear. And we will begin to see clearly. And so we have tools that help us. Our prayer treatments, our meditation, AA, a lot of AA groups downstairs, counseling, all ready to offer up for us for whatever we need. And if we listen to what that inner voice tells us, even sometimes we will begin to have that mystical experience of oneness, that we are truly one with all that is. And so I invite you to go within and just breathe deeply. And as we connected at the beginning of our message today with another one, recognizing the divine in that person and the divine in myself, and it all emerges from that one divine essence. And as we go out in nature, all that beauty is also a part of our wholeness. And every living creature, a part of our wholeness. And as we become more and more aware of this, and because we are sitting here, we are holding an intention for that, our heart will begin to expand and open. It will embrace our own beauty and our own wholeness, and it will see the beauty and the wholeness in all. For indeed, we are one. Namaste.
Thank you, Rev Julie. This is a song called It's in Every One of Us by David Pomeranz. It's in every one of us to be wise. Sing with me if you know it. Find your heart open above your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, you and I. It's in every one of us. I just remembered, it's like I've been sleeping for years. Not awake as I can be, but my seeing's better. I can see through the tears. I've been realizing that I bought this ticket and I'm watching only half of the show. There is scenery and lights and a cast of thousands who all know what I know, and it's good that it's so. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart and open above your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. 'Cause it's in every one of us, you and I. It's in every one of us, you and I. Thanks for singing.
Julie, thank you. Thank you. That deserves another clap from me. Who wants to come up and just give her a hug? Look at that, look at that. Oh my God. Hallelujah. That felt good. And you out there watching on your computer or whatever, just think if you were in here, you could have given Julie a hug also. Yeah. Okay, we have such a special time here. And you know, Ari, thank you for your music. Oh, my God, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is our time to show how we really feel about coming here and hearing things, seeing things, participating in things that we can do here. It's just by reaching in your pockets or wherever you keep that which you call loose change, checkbook, whatever it is, and making sure that you'll go to a concert and pay hundreds of dollars, right? You come here and hear something like what Julie just gave us today. It's worth more than $100. Here, Julie, I'll give you $500. Here's my wallet. Wait a minute. That's my card. I can't give you that. So, there's an offertory affirmation in your program that kind of says it all. Just find it in there together. Let's speak this together. It says, starts with divine. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I am grateful. I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. Breathe that in. I am grateful. I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. I love that song because as we acknowledge these gifts today, I am so grateful. I am grateful for what this community gives to me, for what it has done for my life, what I see it working in others' lives. And so I am grateful for every one of you who support us together in whatever way that works for you, and particularly in this moment in sharing with your financial resources, so that we may continue to do this perfect work. And I bless this income with my whole heart, knowing that it does good, it serves all. Thank you, God.
Amen. Oh, so now we get to share in our...
Well, we do something at this time that there has been controversy around this, but let me tell you something. When you say these words, they're very powerful. Wherever they come from your heart, do they not? It's called our prayer of protection, but it's more than that. It's the light of God, the love of God, the presence of God right here, the power of God, working with what we just saw today. So together, let us just start out together and stand and say this. The
light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Where we are, God is, and all is well.
The circle is growing. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth. begins with me.
And only standing next to you, I actually hear it.